Freedom is nothing but the distance between a hunter and its prey. Hey, I'm Nivea, and today I'm going to speak about a book which contains letters from a son to his mother, who is illiterate, so she cannot read them. And the book is On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Vuong. It's an autobiography, which means the incidents in this entire book are real. Now, the first question that would have come into your mind, which did come into my mind for sure before reading this book, was why did the son write these letters or book when he clearly knew that his mom cannot read them? And the answer to it is that these letters are written for her, but it's not meant to be read. To make this statement clearer, I'll read two sentences mentioned in this book. So in the beginning of the book itself, the statement is mentioned and I'll read it out to you. I'm reading it from my Kindle. Dear Ma, I'm writing to reach you, even if each word I put down is one word further from where you are. And also, before mentioning a critical incident in his life, he mentions, I only have the nerve to tell you what comes after because the chance this letter finds you is slim. So that itself makes it clear that he has written this book or letters for her, but it's not meant to be read. It's already understood that these letters are written from a child to his or her mother from these words, Dear Ma. However, to make it more engaging, the author has used a few other words to make us understand that it's written from a son to a mother. Let me read it out for you. I'm writing you from inside a body that used to be yours, which is to say, I'm writing as a son. The story is about a young boy who is a Vietnamese immigrant in the US and trying to find his place here. It also sheds flashbacks of his childhood life where he was bullied at school, where his mother abused him physically, but at the same time they share a very good emotional bond between them. And then there is a protection layer or blanket in the form of his grandmother. A lot of sentimental events happening, which is being mentioned in a very humorous way in this book, and that's a very odd mix. For example, his mother, she works in a nail salon and then struggles as a single parent to support her child and her motherland. But every last Saturday of the month, if there is any money remaining after paying all the bills, she takes her child to a mall and then they buy fancy chocolates to enjoy like a rich life for one day and also to show others that they are not poor on that one day. Whereas the rest of the days, they go to other shops where they get discount in such a way that all the items in the cart that they have taken have yellow tags, which means that they all have more than 50% discount. Another incident that I really loved in this book is the author mentions while he was a child, and when he used to get scared of something, his mom used to sing the song Happy Birthday to him. Not because it was his birthday, because that was the only English song that she knew. And with her limited knowledge, this was the only way to calm him down. And I felt it so sweet. Though she's an illiterate and has limited knowledge, her ideas or the way she thinks is amazing and to be applauded. For example, she mentions to her son about eyes, the value of eye. As in, eyes are the most loneliest creation in the world. Much of the world goes through the pupil, but it cannot hold anything. It doesn't even know that there is an eye besides it. And the very next moment after she speaks about this, she tells her son, look outside, there is snowfall. And that clearly shows us that eye doesn't know its own value, but it's ideally very significant. There are also a lot of relatable statements in this book. Like for example, it is mentioned in this book that in Vietnamese, they rarely say I love you. And if they have to, then they say it in English. Or another way of mentioning love is through action, like through service. And that's very much true in India as well. Like we don't most of the times say I love you in our mother tongue. We just translate it to English and then use these words. Now, is it good or bad? I leave it to you to decide. But in my opinion, we need to say I love you to the people whom we really love and also action it 100%. Another incident is when he mentions about his sexual orientation to his mother for the first time, the way she reacts. When did this start? I gave birth to a very normal and healthy child. This is a very common statement or question during such a conversation from Indian parents as well, even now, unfortunately. I also like the mention of this statement, memory is a choice, in this book. I highly believe that to an extent, memory is a choice. You can erase a lot of things in your life by not thinking about it, by not remembering it, by just erasing them off, just by not thinking about it. But yes, certain traumas in life will not go away from us, but to an extent, as I said, it can be controlled. So that is by not thinking about it. So memory is a choice. So to sum it up, this book is a very beautiful one, no doubt about it. But who should pick this book up? It's a very complicated book. It's the most difficult book I've read in 2023. And hence, I would suggest only avid readers to pick this book up. Why? Because it's written in a very different style, like in a poetry style. It has a lot of life incidents and gripping emotions behind them. But to understand it, you should be an avid reader. I wish this book was written in a much lighter way so that it could have reached a wider audience. Having said that, as I mentioned in the beginning, this book is an autobiography. It was not meant to be read by his mother, so more complicated. It does more justice to that statement. So with that, this is me, Nivea, signing off. Keep reading a lot of books. Bye. Take care. Happy reading.